Good morning, this is Sarah, your imperfect carnivore in the UK. Sorry about all the glare. I've tried to do it without my glasses, but it just doesn't feel right, and then I can't see the screen and I feel a bit disorientated. So I'm putting my glasses on to just put the phone to one side and listen to it, and don't worry about what I look like and all the glare. This Sunday afternoon, I've got a live video with Paul from UK Carnivore Guy. He's quite new on the scene, but he's doing a live with other carnivores, including the fabulous Lauren from Farmer's Life, and I'm going to be on the panel, which is great fun. When you could, I do have 9 years of experience in the carnivore world, but I haven't been perfect, and there will be some purists that say she shouldn't be doing it. She shouldn't actually be on the panel talking. I don't agree. I think I've got enough experience in the carnivore world to be able to help people and, give a good story. But while we're on that subject of should she or not be on the panel, I'd like to let you into a little story. Back in the day, in one of the first carnivore groups I joined. Well, it wasn't really called a carnivore group, it was called a zero carb group, and we had some purists in there. Now, before I go any further, I want to say I respect the people that can do it long term immensely. They are the people to watch. They are the people that are going to prove that eating red meat is not only safe and okay to do, it's actually incredibly wise to do it, because it's incredibly healing. It's not going to give you diabetes, it's not going to give you cancer, it's not going to give you heart disease or any of the other things they say it's going to do. Okay, and there's no better way to prove that than being perfect. Of course there isn't. In my journey, people are going to say, well, I heard you had some Brussels sprouts at Christmas, so that's going to keep you alive for another year, isn't it? So that we need these people to be absolutely true. But we don't all have to be. And it is okay. And this video is entitled Imperfect Carnivore. Is it okay? Is it okay to just be imperfect? I personally think it is. But back to that Facebook group, we had some people in there that actually were purists to the point where they behaved a little bit like vegans. And they were very much, your journey means nothing. You are, you're basically, you shouldn't even have a voice. If you haven't been perfect, you should not have the same voice as someone that has. And I disagree. And what actually happened was we were discussing all of our journeys so far. We'd all joined about the same time. We all joined the group in December 2014, and by the summer of the next year, some of us had been absolutely perfect and some of us hadn't. But the owner of the group was insistent that we all had something to say, that we all had the same length of carnivore journey, even if it had been a bit bumpy. And there were two members of this group who absolutely threw the toys out of the cot, went absolutely ballistic. They haven't spoken to me since. I'm not going to tell you their names. They deserve their privacy. But they didn't talk to me, and despite my communicating with them, they didn't want to talk to me, and it was all over me. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But at that time, that group was very small compared to what it is now. It has about 35,000 members now, but back then it was tiny. And dare I say it, a little bit clicky. And everyone else in there was perfect, or they said they were, and I was the only one that was a bit kind of, I've messed up, I did mess up, I'm back to it now. That was not acceptable. Do you know, a splinter group came off that group? I'm not going to say the name of that one. They deserve their privacy. I hope I don't say it out loud, but another group splintered off as a result of the row and the argument that occurred, because the owner of that group wanted us to all be able to have a voice, wanted us all to be able to discuss our journeys, and the people that were the purists couldn't stand it, that I was being given the same voice as them. And this is why I've got this channel, really, because I can say what I like now. I can say whatever I want. This is my YouTube channel. I can say what I like. So as a result of that, I've spent years beating myself up for not being perfect. Of course you would, wouldn't you? Because you're now, I haven't got a voice. No one's going to be interested in my story. Anytime I tell my story, I've then got to justify why it wasn't perfect. Oh, it's exhausting. I won't bother. I'll wait until I'm perfect. But the war on meat is happening right now. The war on meat has been happening a long time. How much longer do I have to wait before I'm allowed to have a voice. And so this is why I set my channel up last year, so I could speak about it in happiness. And if you don't like the fact that I've been perfect, there are multitudes of other places you can go. But if you still like the channel, keep on listening. The original question, the original thumbnail at the beginning of this video is an imperfect carnivore journey okay? Is it okay to be imperfect? I think yes. Though you were going to say, well, you would think that, wouldn't you? Well, you would think that because yours has been imperfect. But I still have the health benefits. I still have the joy and the hopefulness. I have similar health benefits to those that have been perfect. My health, my brain health is absolutely fine. I have no depression, anxiety, panic attacks, brain fog. My gut health is absolutely fine. I have no constipation, diarrhea, acid reflux of any sort. My joint pain, I don't have any. You know, I'm 48 now. At this point in most people's lives, they're starting to crumble. Their health is starting to deteriorate. I hear people in their 30s say, oh, I'm feeling old. Oh, I've got this pain here and this pain there. I'm feeling old. And I'm thinking, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I have hope. I have hope in my head and hope in my heart for my future health. I'm also in this journey for disease prevention. I come from a long line of family members who were really sick, most notably my own mother. And so for anyone that thinks that health problems are genetic, I would say I'm not so sure about that. Though there are people that say that genetics loads the gun, but the diet pulls the trigger. And I think there's an awful lot of truth in that. You know, I don't want to end up like my granddad and dying of complications of diabetes. And I don't want to end up like my mum, losing multiple body parts on multiple medications. And you know, she lost her reproductive system when I was 13. She lost her entire thyroid system when she was probably about 45, 46, so younger than me. So on medication for all those things all through my life. I never knew a time when she wasn't on medication for something. She was never medication free. And it's my goal to stay medication free. It's my goal to not become incredibly morbidly obese. It's my goal to avoid cancer and to avoid depression and anxiety and avoid diabetes. And I believe that my imperfect journey has made that possible for me. Yes, would it be better if it was absolutely perfect? Of course it would. If my journey was absolutely perfect, I'd be tiny as well. But my grandmother that was really healthy, she was never tiny. She was about the same size her whole life that I am now. And she lived problem-free till she got to 90. She got to 90 without a single problem. And then her health started to deteriorate. And I believe that's because we lost my granddad and she didn't have the access to the fatty meat that he used to bring into the house. He was a butcher, very successful. He had always had huge chest freezers full of meat, and they lived primarily a very hyper carnivore kind of life. And that's, sadly, he was a smoker and his chest let him down, but she wasn't, and so she kept on going. And she was imperfect. She was what you call an imperfect carnivore, but her health was the best that any human over about 70 years old in my family's ever had. She had 3 sisters and their health all failed them. And I believe marrying a butcher and eating extreme amounts of fatty beef and fatty lamb gave her amazing health. And she was what you might call an imperfect carnivore. And I've said that if I follow in her footsteps and I live like her and I can end up like her. She was happy. She was the happiest person. She refused the doctors. She was anti-medication. She never took a flu jab, never took a statin. She was against all that. And I'm against all that. And I think she lived a nice age as a result of that. And I'm going to do that. So really this channel is, this video is an imperfect carnivore lifestyle okay? I think 100% yes. Would 100% carnivore be better? Of course it would. Of course it would. And that's what I aim for. But while I'm waiting to become perfect, I can enjoy the benefits of being imperfect. And there are loads of people enjoying health benefits, not even from perfection. Am I recommending you don't do it properly? No. I recommend we all do it properly. But life gets in the way. We get distracted. Things go wrong. We go through traumas. And it's fine. I know plenty of people who are massive advocates of the carnivore world who don't actually do it properly all the time, but their health is good, really good. You know, I look about like I weigh 20 pounds less than what I do because of the 9 years of meat eating. I actually weigh at the moment 200 pounds, but I look like I weigh about 175 pounds because of the amount of meat. I've eaten more red meat in the last month than what the average person in this country does in their whole lifetime at the moment. I've eaten so much red meat, it's unbelievable, and I am strong mentally and physically. And it's okay. And I think it's absolutely fine. I really do. One day I aspire to be that perfect carnivore. I still have time. I'm only 48. I'm not planning to die anytime soon. I can be perfect maybe next year or the year after, and it's all good. So yeah, don't be a purist, but if you can, well done, because I would love to be a purist like you. So if you are someone that always watches the end of my videos, let's see who's watched to the end. It doesn't really matter. I'm not judging. You could be an imperfect watcher of the Imperfect Carnivore UK channel. You don't have to watch to the end. It's all good with me. Eat meat, drink the water, and if you don't, that's fine too. Take care of yourself, and if you've watched to the end, the word of the day is going to be imperfect. You take care of yourself, and I'm going to upload this later. Have a great day. Bye.